Sociological foundation of education.
Sociology and education.
After reading this unit, you will be able to
understand the meaning and nature of educational sociology,
explain the relationship between sociology and education,
discuss education as a social process,
explain the role of education in socialization. Human beings are born into and develop their personalities within society. According to Ross, individuality is of one value and personality is a meaningless apart from social environment.
In a social environment, individuals interact with forces that influence them, and in turn, they also influence society.
An individual can learn very little by themselves. Society contributes significantly to their learning.
People acquire socialization through contact with family, relatives, and friends, learning basic mutual behaviors.
If an individual were left alone without companionship or society, their learning would not take place.
Therefore, the presence of other people, or society, is essential for education.
Education and society are interdependent and complementary.
No educational system can be understood without considering the context of the society it exists in, and society can never progress without a sound system of education.
Education should enable a student to become a useful member of society.
Educational sociology is a branch of behavioral science that deals with the social aspects of education.
It is a sociological approach to education with a vast scope.
Society facilitates the process of education by creating educational institutions for various types of education, including formal, informal, and non-formal.
Thus, education is a social necessity, and its study involves social interaction, processes, and norms. This is why the subject of educational sociology has become so important.
Meaning and nature of educational sociology.
Humans are social animals who live in a society made up of a network of human relationships. Sociology is a science that studies the relationships between people and their environment.
Educational sociology is a branch of sociology that explains the meaning of education from a sociological perspective.
Meaning of sociology.
Sociology can be defined as the study of humans and their environment in relation to each other. In 1837, the French philosopher Auguste Comte first coined the term sociology.
By this, he meant the application of scientific methods to study the relationship between society and the individual.
E.T. Hiller.
Sociology is the study of relations between individuals, their conduct and reference to one another and standard by which they regulate their association.
Moore and Cole.
Sociology studies plural behavior, which refers to the behavior of individuals, performed in relation to other individuals.
Maximum Weber.
Sociology is the science which attempts the interpretative understanding of social actions.
Duncan. Sociology is the scientific study of the processes of interactions of persons.
Amal Durkheim.
Sociology is the science of collective representation.
From these definitions, we can conclude that sociology is concerned with human relationships.
It can be roughly defined as a systematic study of the individual and society in an interacting and interlearning relationship.
It studies human behavior in groups, social structures, and social phenomena.
Meaning of educational sociology.
Educational sociology is a new branch of sociology that studies the relationship between education and society and deals with the problems inherent in this relationship.
It is an approach to education through a sociological lens.
Educational sociology applies sociological principles to the theory and practice of education. It utilizes total educational interaction to help in the personality development of the individual so that they become a better social being.
This science emphasizes the progress of society through the medium of education. It also seeks solutions to problems related to society and education and highlights the institutions and social interactions that are crucial to the educational process.
Brown.
All education proceeds by the participation of the individual in the social consciousness of the races.
Ottaway's view.
The sociology of education may be defined as a study of relations between education and sociology.
The education is an activity which goes on in a society, and its aims and method depend on the nature of the society in which it takes place.
George Penn.
Educational sociology is a science which describes and discusses processes of social relation which give experience to an individual and organizes a society.
These definitions show that educational sociology considers the development of the individual within their social environment.
It doesn't just look at education or sociology in isolation, but considers their mutual reactions and interactions. It makes education more grounded in the needs of society.
Nature of educational sociology.
Educational sociology is not limited to a specific nature or period. Its nature is universal. It is not merely theoretical, it is also practical.
While it studies the forces of interaction between an individual and society, it also tries to regulate and control these forces.
Its role is to find ways to manipulate the educational process to achieve better personality development and social control.
Society has established rules to maintain continuity and stability, preserve traditions and values, and establish discipline.
Educational sociology is necessary for this purpose. It is the subject of constant and dynamic interaction between the individual and their cultural environment, enabling us to understand a child from the perspective of their social surroundings.
Educational sociology evolved as a discipline designed to prepare educators for their future tasks.
It uses the results of sociological research to plan educational activities and develop effective methods for realizing these plans.
It helps in understanding the cultural, economic, social, and political trends in relation to both formal and informal agencies of education.
It aims to develop a curriculum that will adequately socialize each student.
It tries to determine what would best contribute to a child's personality development and how to control the educative process to achieve this.
It studies various types of social relationships and their impact on individual development.
Thus, the nature of educational sociology is both theoretical and practical.
It is the scientific study of how people live in social groups, with a focus on the education that is obtained by living in these groups and the education that is needed for members to live efficiently within them.
Relationship of sociology and education.
Sociology and education are two branches of knowledge that are essentially concerned with human beings and their lives.
They are mutually interrelated and interdependent disciplines, so closely intertwined that their subject matter and methods often overlap.
All societies have their own ways of meeting their needs, and education has become an effective means of doing so.
Education not only transmits past cultural heritage, but also helps in the reconstruction of our ways of living.
It can assist in developing new social patterns in areas like health, leisure, vocation, and family life.
This reconstruction and adaptation are necessary due to scientific, industrial, and technological advancements, which are changing both urban and rural life.
The relationship between education and sociology can be seen through the following points.
Sociology is the science of society, and education is an inherent aspect of any social system.
Sociology studies the structure and functions of social systems, while education is one of the most important functions of a social system.
The primary concern of sociology is to create socialized individuals, and education is the means to achieve this goal.
Education is the laboratory and workshop of sociology.
Sociology attempts to determine the functions performed by the educational system, while education adopts sociological principles to improve its functioning.
In modern society, sociology generates the data that the educational system uses to realize the goals of social life.
Sociology develops laws and principles that the educational system adopts for its improvement.
Education preserves the social and cultural heritage that is studied by sociology.
Society is the main factor in determining educational patterns so that its socio-cultural needs can be met and it can continue to grow.
Durkheim first clearly indicated the need for a sociological approach to the study of education.
He considered education to be something essentially social in character, in both its origins and its functions.
As a result, he believed that the theory of education is more closely related to sociology than any other science.
Educational sociology and curriculum.
According to educational sociology, the curriculum is organized to help achieve social aims. The social progress of a society and nation depends on the curriculum in schools and colleges.
For this reason, sociologists consider it essential to organize the curriculum carefully and properly. As an eminent educationist said, education is not to be confined to the study of a few subjects alone, is to be present in the epitomized study of the diversified social life.
These sociological principles should be considered when constructing a curriculum.
The curriculum should help achieve the social aims of education.
It should be chosen based on the problems and needs of society, while also paying attention to the real problems and interests of the students.
The curriculum and its instructional methods should be organized to effectively serve as a medium for social control.
Through the curriculum, cultural values and high ideals of society should be transmitted to the new generation.
The curriculum should develop an attitude of respect for all vocations and a sense of the dignity of labor among students.
The focus should be on facilitating future social change rather than bringing about immediate changes in individual behavior.
The curriculum should be dynamic, flexible, and changeable.
It should be able to develop a problem-solving attitude among students so they can understand and solve problems independently.
There should be a provision for social programs to encourage participation in social life.
The curriculum should reflect the basic cultural values of the society and act as an agent in transmitting the highest values.
The curriculum should include subjects like music, art, vocational subjects, physical education, language, and the physical and biological sciences.
Educational sociology and method of teaching.
Educational sociologists advocate for the use of the project method, socialized techniques, group discussions, and group dynamics.
They also encourage cooperative learning, problem-solving, and democratic methods of teaching. Effective educational methods are those that give individuals the knowledge to adapt and adjust to different social situations.
Sociology gives importance to group methods of teaching and methods that develop a democratic attitude among children.
According to a sociological viewpoint,
The method of instruction is effective only when the skills and knowledge acquired in the classroom are actually used by the individual to adjust to social situations.
An individual should be able to achieve social correlation by using the knowledge and skills they gained in school.
The teaching method should emphasize social behavior outside the class.
It should make use of all possible social resources and cooperative forces in social life to develop every individual's capacity for social adjustment.
Societal powers and current should be used in the teaching system to increase social co-relationship.
Sociologists suggest that teaching should be done through cultural and social programs.
Teaching should develop problem-solving and constructive thinking.
Socialized techniques, project, and group methods fulfill most of these conditions.
Students react better to cooperative learning, where there is sharing in the teaching-learning process. Cooperative group patterns of learning emphasize group interaction.
Educational sociology and the teacher.
A teacher should be committed to society. They should be aware of the main institutions and powers that influence a student.
Teachers should know the instruments of social development available in the extramural environment and have the capacity to use this knowledge in school education.
A teacher should understand the process of socialization among students, methods of interaction, and programs for social development.
Education is a process of social system and socialization.
A social system can be explained as an interconnected and organized set of activities which consist of parts that are interdependent to produce common results.
Social systems are created by human beings and are strengthened by their attitudes, perceptions, beliefs, habits, and expectations.
In a social system, two or more people constantly interact and practice similar approaches, attitudes, and social values.